Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My name is Hallie and I'm an adult American Girl doll collector. And in this video is going to be maybe amongst like several videos upcoming of me basically personalizing my camper, which I use to kind of like display my American Girl dolls during the day. And so basically the camper that I have is not American Girl doll brand. It's actually Our Generation brand, which if you guys don't know, it's basically like a cost-effective American Girl doll collection, but it's at Target. And it's kind of like the equivalent of like My Life As, that has a 18-inch doll collection. But yes, so I have the Country Camper. I'll put down below like what the actual name is, so that way you guys can check it out on the Target website, or if you're looking for it and you have a Target nearby you that has one or a couple in your locations, like definitely check it out. I believe I got it for like $162, which wasn't that bad in comparison to certain American Girl doll branded campers in the past. But yes, so I have that, and I kind of want to, now that I have that and now that I have the picnic table set, I wanted to kind of like personalize the camper to make it fit more of like a bohemian chic vibe. As you can tell, that's kind of my vibe in my husband and I's own apartment. So I kind of want to give it that flair. And so I'm kind of like DIYing certain things to make it look more like how I would want my camper to look like if I was a doll. So yeah, so without further ado, I did get 3 things from Amazon that is basically what I'm going to use to personalize. So the first thing I got, because I just got this like literally just a second ago, but I got this like wood like stick-on wallpaper. And basically what I'm going to do is use that to kind of like stick on to the actual picnic table that I have, because it is a different colored pink than the actual camper. It's like a hot pink color, if you guys saw the video prior to of basically that. But I kind of just want to make it more of like a wood type look. So I'm thinking about like putting this and like measuring it and sticking it on that and seeing if that works. Also, I don't have any like lights inside of the camper, so like I feel like I need to like use that so that way in like the dark you can kind of see it and it kind of fits more of like the camper at night type vibe. So I got these, which is like small little lights that you actually can press and it'll turn on. So I'm thinking about sticking that on the top of the camper, like inside, so that way it kind of looks like an overhead light. And then the last thing that I got, I'm actually going to open now if I can. But I wanted to like basically kind of make an opening curtain or like curtains to my camper on the inside. So I basically got this like cheap table runner that's kind of like this little doily type lace. This kind of looks like my like veiling at my for my wedding dress. But yeah, this is so cute, and I'm thinking about cutting it up and making this into kind of like a curtain. And then I'm also thinking about like later on, like if I have any leftover, which I'm pretty sure I do, because there's a whole bunch here, because it's supposed to be a table runner. I'm thinking about using some of this material to kind of like DIY clothes for my dolls out of this material. So like a skirt or pants or something like that. That would be really cute. But other than that, yeah, I am going to get ready to kind of like make over everything. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here is the picnic set. And I started off by using the wallpaper, and I just kind of mapped it out, but I left some room so I could get the corners and kind of have that wrapped around. But it was actually pretty easy. I got to use the adhesive and it was really quick and easy, and if I messed up I could have just easily just taken it off and put it back on, and it didn't leave any residue. But yeah, here I am mapping it out and just wrapping it around the corners there. And then also for the corner parts, I just cut it in half and stuck it on basically on the sides so that way it wrap around easily. And honestly, I did that with everything. I cut a lot of parts, and of course you'll see later I couldn't get all of it at the bottom with like the pink parts, because that's where all the construction was and like the little lines, and it was going to be very hard for me to do that part. But just in general, it was pretty easy. It only took me like an hour and a half, so it did take some patience, especially because I was trying to be precise and I tried to do some cleaning on it. But you'll see how I kind of like hide the stuff with like the other DIYs that I do for the table. But other than that, this was a really fun project to do, and I enjoyed this. My husband would like peep in and out to see what I was doing, and he was very intrigued, and yeah, it was a fun experience nonetheless. All right, here's the table. So I know I obviously can't fill in the pink space that's here, but that's okay because I'm just going off of the, just the surface part, because that's the best I can get, because as you can see, there is ridges and stuff that obviously would take way too long for a wrap like this. But basically I'm going to make a table runner for them out of the table runner that I got that I'm going to use for the curtains. But yeah, so this is what it looks like, and now we're going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing I'm doing is using the little table runner that I got, and I'm working on the curtains. So I first measured basically from top to bottom kind of what it looked like, and I wanted to also leave a little corner space at the top so that way I could use some adhesive to basically stick it on to the ceiling without causing any damage to the camper on the top. So I used some command strips. I used like Velcro ones. We still had some left over from our move to our apartment, because we use a lot of command strips with photo frames and stuff like that we have hanging up. So it was very convenient that we had a lot still left. But I used that, and I stuck one to the top of the camper and then one to the actual corner of the curtain, and then I used actual double-sided tape for the rest to stick the rest of it up there. I think I will eventually get like a hot glue gun and stick it on there, but I did that on both sides of the camper, like the opening parts, just so that way it could seem like when you close the door there's like some privacy there. But yeah, it was pretty easy to do, and it's actually surprisingly stayed on with the double-sided tape and the command strips. Like I haven't had any problems. But then I went in and used any extra scrap pieces that I used to cut and measure. And I basically use that as kind of like the thing to hold it together. So that way, if I don't want any privacy, I can just kind of use that. And I did it on both sides as well. So that was pretty easy, and it looked really cute. And I like the finished product of this. The next thing that I did was I actually took some of the table runner as well, and I used that for the picnic table, and I kind of measured that on the picnic table and I cut it, and I think this was very helpful with also kind of hiding some of the neon pink parts. And yeah, I basically started setting up all of the stuff on top of it, and I thought that the picnic stuff looked so cute with like the little lace little picnic table blanket that I kind of created, and it was so cute to kind of like put everything back together in its new aesthetic that I had. But then I came up with another idea, and so basically I took some of the leftover scraps from the wallpaper and I put it around the napkin holder, and it looked a lot better. But then I also used some table runner as kind of like the privacy thing for the bathroom as well, and that looked really cute as well. And then now I went in and used the light, and basically I stuck it onto the top, and that was a little easy. And then now I can just, use it and pop it on and pop it off when I don't need it. But other than that, that is it for everything that I DIY'd. Everything looks so cute. I love the inside. I moved Kanani here so you could kind of see the inside with Grace in here making a salad, but I thought that was adorable. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love DIYing everything and like putting everything together. Back in like the late 2000s, like 2010-ish. I was an avid watcher of like AG YouTube, and I loved watching like everybody's different renditions and DIYs of rooms and houses for their American Girl dolls and that whole type of thing. So, and like especially decorating, I loved watching those videos. But yeah, now I get to like kind of rekindle that through like my own little project that I have going here. And so far I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. But yeah, I have so many different concepts right now of like the different things that I can add. I'm already thinking about like little lights, possibly if I could find like lanterns that are small enough, that'll like be like string lanterns on like the van, so that's a little bit more of like lighting. I obviously want to put like a backdrop back there and kind of have like the windows show something, because right now it's just showing the wall with the wires from my nightstand, because the setup of the van is literally next to my husband and I's bed. But yeah, I just am just reeling, and I love like the creativity that comes from this. And you know, my obsession with like HGTV and everything is really kicking in. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There'll be more to come. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Take care of yourself. Bye.